Hello, I'm Bonnie Tinsley. I'm here to do Module 2, Pathophysiology of a STEMI and Why Time is Muscle. First, I'd like to start off with saying that I believe that the heart is an incredibly amazing organ. It pumps approximately 5 to 5.5 quarts of blood through the body every minute, as well as 60 miles worth of vessels. I found that amazing. It has quite an ability to contract in order to have the force it needs to push that blood, that oxygenated blood that's coming from the heart, into the vessels that feed the rest of the organs and keep us alive and keep us working. The heart is responsible for getting rid of the oxygen poor blood and any waste material so that is in the blood. And then from the lungs, it brings back oxygenated blood and sends it back to the organs to help them to function correctly and at their peak. So in the pathophysiology of a STEMI, there is generally the most common is a blockage in the vessel or vessels entering the heart. And generally that blockage is generally caused by plaque formation, which is caused by high cholesterol in the form of atherosclerosis. And once that plaque starts building, it of course reduces the amount of blood that is able to flow through the vessel and into the heart. And the blood, it can be over a very long period of time that the heart has received less blood. The heart is an amazing organ in the fact that it can try to compensate for the reduced amount of oxygenated blood it's getting in, and it can go up to 50% occluded before you end up with symptoms. So we need to try to keep that at a minimum, of course. Once that plaque forms, the other plaque comes and sometimes adheres to it, so you end up with more and more plaque. And the plaque itself can cause the body to create or to make blood clots. And the blood clot, of course, can go in and completely occlude any flow of blood through a vessel. And once that complete occlusion occurs, you have ischemia happening in the heart. The heart has what are called myocytes. They are a component of, or they make muscle tissue, and the myocytes begin to deteriorate after 8 to 10 seconds of loss of oxygen, and within 20 minutes, the muscle cells themselves start dying. Unfortunately, as incredible as the heart is, it is not capable of rejuvenating those cells. So once they're gone, they're gone. Once the cells die, they start forming a fibrotic, it's kind of like a scar tissue. And the scar tissue is not flexible in any way or shape or form. Scar tissue, as we know, pulls in tissue and is not contractible. And the heart, the entire heart, it needs the contractibility to be able to get that 5.5 quarts of blood and 60 miles worth of to fill that 60 miles worth of vessels. So it is very important that we find out what's going on with someone immediately so that we can address within that time frame. They say within 30 minutes of the loss or the heart attack starts that you should receive a medication that helps to reverse it, so you don't end up with a large part of the heart that has died. As I said, those cells cannot rejuvenate, so the heart is damaged for good, and it is not able to function properly and pump that blood and the volume of blood that needs to be pumped in a sufficient way to keep the other organs also in their prime and working correctly. So therefore, once the heart deteriorates, then the organs that it feeds begin to deteriorate. So you end up with multi-organ failure if you have a large ischemic issue with the heart, and it obviously can lead to death. Heart attacks being the #1 leading cause of death in the United States. The sad part of this is that heart attacks, for the most part, are preventable. High cholesterol can be treated, and we need to make sure that the public is educated and teach them. We need to continually be teaching and letting the public know why things are important. That it's not just drug companies trying to get money. It is us trying to live longer, taking care of our heart. We've only got one, and yes, we can get one from someone else, but the chances of that working are not as great as your ability to prevent it in the first place. I think that's about it. I think I've covered everything. Let me check my notes. I have them everywhere. I think I've said everything I wanted to say, so thank you very much for listening to me, and I'm looking forward to listening to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.